Hey guys, welcome to Jen's Creativity Corner. Today I'm going to show you how to use one of these embroidery punch pens. So I saw ads for these on Facebook and I kept really wanting to get one, and I finally did. I'm excited about it. The work that I'm going to show you is pretty rudimentary, just kind of playing around with it, getting a feeling for it. So nothing amazingly artistic, but definitely has possibilities. So just kind of showing you here, you've got a needle and it's hollow there, and you've also got a hole in the back. And here you can adjust how long your loops are going to be. I have tried it multiple times on shorter and kind of struggle with it. I do prefer somewhere from middle to long, but that, as you can see, you twist it, it lengthens or shortens your needle. And if needed, you can take it out. That is kind of the most important tool in the kit here. I'll show you the rest of the kit that I got. So it comes with 2 needle threaders. You need them nice and long like this for it to be able to go all the way through. I'll show you how to do that in a moment. You got little scissors here. Got a little marker, which I haven't used. It's kind of yellow, so I guess might not be as useful on some fabrics. Little iron-on applique, I think just a little bonus for fun. There's this tube of different needles, which I'm guessing are for more traditional embroidery, which I've never really done, but it's kind of a nice bonus. Here we've got a replacement needle, should you want one, if yours is getting dull. I think this is actually larger too. Yeah, oh yeah, it's quite a bit larger. So if you're doing a bigger project, you want to use, for example, maybe something thicker like yarn. So you can use that. In this little container, it took me the longest time to figure out why there were these little plastic just squares, and they actually are dividers for this kit. So if you want to kind of customize it. And then the last thing, which I have not experimented with, but I believe is just a kind of less fancy version. You've got the needle, and then you've got this little pipe, but I don't know. I haven't really been able to figure it out. I've messaged the seller of this product on Amazon and didn't really get a lot of straight answers on that, so I'm still confused on that. If you've gotten one of these kits, let me know what the heck are those for, because they don't fit in the pen like the other replacement does. So anyway, that's what comes in this kit. Also, you get, this has some basic instructions and kind of inspiration designs, basic information here. And then there's a separate pamphlet that also goes over that. Most of my information, as usual, is just kind of trial and error or checking out blogs or YouTube to try to get the hang of everything. And really awesome with this kit, you get a whole bunch of embroidery thread, so you can just jump right in. I found that I like just using the whole thing. I don't separate it out. These are some colors that I've already used, so they're a little bit messy. So the most important part of this is actually going to be the fabric you use. At first, when I was trying to practice, again, not really reading anything, just kind of trying to dive in, I thought, you know, I've got some ugly brown fabric that I really don't have any use for, but it wasn't working properly. And that's because it is probably stretchier than you want. So you want a good high thread count of cotton or canvas or even jeans. Again, looking for more scraps. I actually found this is an old pajama pants that have a tear in them. Not really worth trying to salvage. So I did a little heart here. Now this is the back side. It's a little messy. I'll zoom in a bit here. So it's a little messy. I haven't cut off the string yet, but when you turn it inside out, there you have the design we're going for. And that's somewhere in between the medium to long length on the needle. And I just freehanded this. So nice little heart. I do have a little stray there, but I could just snip that off. Snip off any that are uneven. And this is the more detailed one that I did the other day. Again, I mean, I'm still learning. It's not some amazing work of art, but I thought it would be fun. So we got the lips and just done on the outside. So you can see there's a little bit of thickness to it there. Now what you can do, obviously, could just, you know, frame it in here. That could be pretty as art. Or you can even take fabric glue to the back side here. Right now I just have it taped to kind of keep it in line. You can use fabric glue to secure it, so you could actually use this on something, because right now these are just kind of loose stitches. So I'll show you a little bit of how that works. The important thing to remember when you are setting up your canvas is that the side that you're going to be poking into is the back side. So I'll want to make this the front side. Not that I don't think it really matters too terribly much when you're actually putting it in an embroidery hoop. The biggest thing is just you are going to want this as tight as possible. To get started, we're going to take our pen here and your threader, and you put it through the bottom so it's poking out at the top. And no, it's kind of hard to see against my black table, sorry, but I'm just going to thread that through. So that's the first step. I do recommend when you get this brand new, run a color through that you don't really care about, because I had like some manufacturing grease in there first time. So you've got it poking out the top here, but you need to tuck it in the back of the needle. So we're going to take our threading needle again, and from the back going towards the front, just enough to catch it there. Then we will thread it through. And now you are all set to get started. So your main tube of the needle is pretty clear, and you've got the thread coming out the back there. Now the proper way to use the tool is a little bit up to you and your comfort. You just have to play with it a little bit, but one of the things is you don't want to jab it into where you already have thread, because then it's gonna kind of pull things through, not make it look very good. This is going to be my presentation side. So I am going to start from the back, and I don't really have anything in mind right now, so I'm just going to kind of play around. But you want to make sure this is very tight, and you might have to tighten it every once in a while as you go. But you are going to, you're going to check your setting here. I don't necessarily need it that long. Let's do a 6. It goes up to 12, so that's about halfway. And I'm just going to hold that tight for the first stitch. I'm going to puncture through, and you always want to go all the way through to the tip there, so it's poking through on that side, and then pull it out, move it over just a little bit, and you want to make sure that you're not pulling it out a ton. Just poke it through. And you are just going to do this over and over. You don't want to lift it very much over the surface of the fabric, just because then it pulls it back out. this is basically a running stitch. There's not really a whole lot keeping these in place. After you've got the right fabric, I'd say the next most important thing is making sure you have got your thread sorted out. Now what I mean by that is you need this to not have knots. You need this to not get tight, caught up anywhere, because you will be poking over and over and then realizing that a whole row didn't actually stick because it's pulling it back out because there is a little bit of tightness on this thread here, and that's what's causing that. So I'm just going to do a little bit here. As I am moving which direction I'm going, it's kind of wanting to poke back over itself. So you either have to move your hoop or the direction that your needle is going in, or both, just whatever feels most comfortable. The thing I like about this is that it's the kind of thing I can do while watching a movie, while I'm on the phone at work, to be honest. Like, it's just one of those things you don't need too much concentration on, and you can just enjoy it. So make sure that's kind of tucked off to the side, but that you're not pulling on it, because you can pull those seams right out. What you can do, obviously this is like I said, the back side, which actually is not looking too terrible. You could have pulled the string through on the other side when you started, and then on this side pull it through and cut it. And you can actually do a design this way. That's technically not the correct way. I use quotation marks there because, you know, a lot of crafting is do what you want. So technically this is the back side, but it doesn't look too shabby, and you can get a nice look that way. It is very different than what you'll find on the other side. So I've seen some pretty work done like that. But I'm going to go ahead and end this for now. So I'm going to hold it tight there, so that way it doesn't pull out the stitch. I'm just going to pull it out a little bit here, and then use my little scissors. Let's take a look at what we got done. So there is a little heart. That took no time at all. And you can fill that in with a different color. You can just fill that in a different way. So it's a kind of, I don't know, I feel like it's a rustic, rough kind of art. But it's cute. You can make your own little patches and wall designs. I feel like there should be extra pointers that I'm giving you guys, but honestly, it's that simple. Like, it's just that simple to make something with one of these tools. Obviously, be safe. Don't have your hand where you're going to be sticking that needle. And as you get kind of that muscle memory, it's going to be easier and you're going to be quicker. But at first, I'd say, you know, take your time so you're not pulling out the loops, because you might just turn it over and realize that a bunch of them didn't actually stick. They got pulled back through because, again, there was tension on your line, or because you were just yanking it out too far, something like that. So a little practice, but I don't know, this is not like I haven't been doing this too long, and I think it looks all right. So thank you again so much for joining me here on Jen's Creativity Corner. If you have a specific type of craft that you'd love to see, let me know down in the comments below. I'm sorry it's been so long since I've really been putting out these videos. I am going to be trying my darndest to get more crafts and cooking done, and I have a whole laundry list of ideas that I want to do. So thank you for your support, and I hope I see you guys soon.